Yeah, I agree. Bastion is holding you back, man. You got to dump his ass. Oh, we're on? We're on. Oh, hi.
He's a sandbagger.
It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday night with Tony. We're here at Progressive Orthotics and Prosthetics. We're here with SAL MARTELLA right there, and that's Mike Lizzi. And then there's all sorts of other people back here too. Brendan, was it? Right?
Yeah.
Brendan's here. Sally's here. We're here. We're hanging out at Progressive in Albertson, Long Island. It is Limb Loss Awareness Month. Say that 5 times fast. Limb Loss Awareness Month. And we're here to talk about limb loss. Sal lost nothing. So that's why he's here. No, Sal is. We were here like a month or so ago. We hung out with Dan, who was just the two of you, right?
Yeah.
Co-owner with Sal. Dan showed us around a little bit. Dan is also an amputee, so we talked shop with him a little bit. Mike here, he is an amputee like myself, so he's here to kiss ass to these guys a little bit, and they promised him, the free shirt and some free parts and stuff. So so we're just here. We're going to talk about limb loss. We're going to talk about Progressive, and just have a couple laughs. And you guys feel free to comment and talk and hang out with us, and we'll have a little fun. So thanks, guys, for hanging out with us tonight. We were a little late getting here because traffic was bad, and there was I think there was an accident on the Parkway, so it took us a few minutes to get here. But once we got here, we realized that neither one of them had any idea what we were doing tonight. So I thought it was kind of all planned out by their marketing people, but basically they were just told to be here. And they okay, so here they are. So we were just explaining to them that we're just a talk show, and we're just going to talk about the place. We're going to talk about their history a little bit and go from there. And people are watching already. This is great. Hello, Paul. Hello, Tiag. What? I see a wood floor. If you remember, I have linoleum. Yeah, that's a little inside joke. Hello, Paula. Oh, Linda Williams is watching. And HB Mark Deck is watching. Your guests tonight are 2 most excellent gentlemen, he says. Do you know who that is, right?
Who's that?
HB Mark Deck? You don't know who that is?
HB Mark Deck.
You don't know who that is?
Oh, yeah, that's Bill Lifford.
That's Bill. There you go. Bill works here, so I was hoping he would get that. Okay.
I saw Bill in concert 2 weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Where? At the
Big Daddy's.
Nice.
He's great.
Yeah, I've seen videos, man. That's
excellent.
That's my music. I love that stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. I gotta. Bill, you gotta be on. You gotta come on one of these Tuesday nights. That's what you gotta do. And play that harp, man. That was. I had no idea. I just discovered that he did that maybe a year ago. I had no idea.
He can jam with any like musician or band. He could just pick up Christmas music, holiday music, whatever.
Wow.
He could play blues. He can make harmonica sound like a saxophone.
Nice. That's cool.
Pretty good. So.
Very nice. All right. So thanks for watching, guys. Linda Williams says hello. Okay. So we'll start with the man here. Give us. Let's start with your background. How did you get into prosthetics? Dan's, obviously,
Right.
got into it for obvious
He was
reasons.
sworn in by different reasons.
But what about you? What's your background?
I was going to go to school for, back in high school, choosing the healthcare route, possibly, become a physician or whatever. So I decided maybe I would get a job working in the back of a lab of some type of healthcare professional, and started in a prosthetic company. So I became a technician back as a teenager and loved it. The minute I started working, and making a prosthesis and making braces also. So I made, prosthetics and orthotics. So one of the things I loved about it was that the minute that you make something and apply it to somebody is an immediate benefit.
Oh, absolutely.
So I had little kids come in, make them a brace, put them on, they wheel in a wheelchair and walk out. And it's like, wow, that's unbelievable. Like,
Yeah.
That's, that hooked me right there. So
Sure.
that probably was the moment that got me into this field. And I said, I'm going full steam ahead with it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you too. The first time you put it on and get moving, it's such a nice feeling because you probably go a few months without it or a few months laid up or whatever, and then finally you feel like something that you really take for granted, such as walking. Something you don't even think about. You just do it. But all of a sudden you lose something like that. So to be able to do it again.
Yeah. I was laid up for a few months. My leg was destroyed. I couldn't wear a prosthetic. I had to wait for all the skin to heal. They grafted from here to here.
Oh, yeah?
So I had to wait quite a few months, probably 4 or 5 months before I could even try one on. And then I
Right.
did wear one, and it didn't fit right, and it made the skin just open up and bleed, and it was a mess. So I had to wait another probably 2 more months for it to heal up. And then I finally got another one that was just a temporary. It was a spring on a pipe, you know. It was cheap, entry level,
You were
basic.
Tigger.
Yeah, pretty much. And I would wear that, but I couldn't do much with it. And then it took probably close to 8 or 9 months before my skin was strong enough to really get going on a prosthetic. So I didn't walk for 8 or 9 months.
So yeah, so when you were finally able to get moving, right? It must have
took a
been
long time.
a nice feeling of freedom, a nice feeling of wow, holy crap,
Yeah.
kind of getting my life back.
It was
Right.
great. It was like learning to walk again took a while.
Sure.
But then once you get going, you're like, wow, I forgot all about this. You know,
Yeah.
it seemed like forever. Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So you started working in a prosthetic place. Started. Well, we don't have to show this one. But
Yeah,
yeah, we don't. They're probably losing tonight. The Mets were losing less than my check. But how did you meet Dan, and how did you guys start this place?
We worked at a place together, and we hit it off. We became friends, and I started making prosthesis. So you get a pretty close friendship that way. So,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so, right? And we were very similar clinically. We started to do things the same, and we treated our patients the same way, and we had the same passion for it. So we decided to open our own practice, and back in 1999, October. So we're going on, this is our 19th year,
Wow.
which is, it's difficult for me to swallow 19 years. It's like, wow, I'm getting older, but I guess wiser and more experienced. So I've seen a lot of changes in our industry, mostly for the good. Some regulations for the bad, but still, it's still fun. And after doing it for all these years, I still love getting somebody to walk for the first time. Like you guys talk about, wow, I sit in that room waiting months to heal up and what it's going to be like, and relearn how to walk again. But as a prosthetist, you just can't wait to get somebody walking that first day. That is like, I don't know if people realize, or our patients realize, like I'm waiting as much as they are. I'm like motivated still. I love it. That first day, and people, they hug you, they cry, and big grown men, big guys who are bears, and grab you in for the hug, and it's just, that makes my day.
Sure.
It's like, it's like the golfer, the shot that makes you go back. It's like hitting a hole in one every day. It's awesome.
Well, and kudos to you guys, because this really is, and I'm sure Mike agrees, this place is just, it's like no other. Everybody treats you like family, and it's just a comfortable atmosphere, and you even have fun coming here. I mess around, joke around with you guys while I'm hanging out, waiting for whatever's got to be done. The whole staff there, when you walk in, they're all friendly and smiling, having a good time. It looks like, they're working, but, don't get me wrong, they're not having a party.
I know, they are. They're having a party up there. But they're having fun. That's, that keeps my day. I need a smile throughout my
Sure,
day.
it really is.
I don't want to be too serious all
Right.
day. It's,
Alyssa Shapiro, does that name ring a bell?
Alyssa Shapiro, yes it does.
She is a friend of mine who had some work done by you, coincidentally. And she claims she's told me that before. It was maybe about a week ago. She reminded me. I don't recall her telling me that, but she reminded me about a week ago that she had some.
The converse with it could say, I think she has a DJ in the family. Is that possible? I don't know. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. DJ in the family? I don't know.
A DJ Shapiro, is that what you're saying?
No, actually, a music teacher.
Oh.
DJ.
She says, don't know if you remember me, Drop Foot, Glen Cove Rehab?
Yeah, of course I do. That's what I said. DJ.
Her husband is a
Husband's a DJ.
I'm caught up now. Sorry. I got lost. Yes, her husband Rob is a DJ. Yes. All right. I go through the comments a lot to see what they have to say. Somebody has a question. Carol Carrillo, she's down in Texas. I have a serious question, but please ask about the Raider limbs. I'll forgive you, Tony, for this in the Yankees. Okay, please. Born in Oakland, that's really great. The Raider limbs?
They're behind.
The Raider limbs.
There you go.
Well, that's the beauty of, that's one of the fun things about getting the legs done is, this up here is the socket. This is where your stump sits, and you can get your own tattoo here. You can, put whatever you want on. Some people can put whatever they want.
Right.
Sometimes somebody might request something and they'll say no.
I know. Well,
I request
a little. Is there a story behind that?
yeah, he did have a
I'll
request.
tell him. I just got this this socket.
2 months.
3 months ago, and I get the same thing every time. I get not one of these loser sockets. I get the Mets. I get the Mets every time. So I said to Sal, you know what? I think I'm going to change up my tattoo. I always call it a tattoo. I think a lot of people do. I'm going to change up the tattoo this year. I want buckwheat. I want buckwheat on my leg. And they said yes, but then I think the next time I came back, they're like, we couldn't do it.
It might be a little.
They didn't even tell you, right? Didn't they just walk out with it and it was the Mets again? And you were like,
So
all
I went
right.
the Mets. I think he knew. I don't even know I had to say much to you.
Yeah.
I know already.
And I even said to Abe was one of the guys who works there. I said to Abe, am I gonna get beat up if I have a buckwheat leg?
But that is like something you love since you were a kid, right? You love our gang.
absolutely.
You're a big our gang.
Huge
fan. So
our
that's
gang.
like your,
Right.
you know.
Oh yeah, I met Spanky once. It was like a kid meeting Santa Claus.
Wow.
I couldn't stop giggling the whole time I was talking to him. Like an idiot.
And it's more than that too. Like your daughter's really into it now.
Well,
you
true,
share that
yeah,
with her. Like
yeah.
it really is like, you know.
But I
part of
totally
your
get where
family.
they're coming from.
Totally get it too. Because when he told me, I was like, yeah, I don't know, man.
These guys know me so well. Every time I get a new leg, it's either Van Halen or Iron Maiden.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I asked once for a Van Halen leg, and after that, every time I come in, it's a new Van Halen
Yeah,
or
we
Iron Maiden.
gotta find something cool. That's
Yeah.
a little surprise, you know?
Yeah. That's
Find
cool.
Something that's,
Van Halen guy, huh?
Okay. I have a tattoo of the Crow, Brandon Lee.
Wow, look at that.
So
oh,
the
we
next,
did a crow. We did a crow one.
that's it right there.
There we go. Yeah, you did the crow. We gotta get a better crow one.
Yeah.
We gotta get a good one.
Hey, you want to bring that in?
Yeah,
first?
this one?
Yeah. So this was a surprise to me.
There you
Sure.
go. That was a crow one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there it is.
Got that one there.
And what do you mean surprised? You didn't ask for
I didn't
those?
ask for it. I just.
What do you think you were getting?
Probably, it's always either Van Halen or Iron Maiden or something American.
Okay.
And,
Actually, you know what? If you don't mind, Brendan, I want to keep that over here.
Yeah.
Thanks,
We,
man.
you know, that's what happens.
And I had just got a
Become
tattoo and I,
friends, you learn
yeah, and I
about
was,
somebody and
and-
say, yeah, I'm gonna
Right.
throw something cool on there.
and I think Kevin.
Kevin ordered it.
Yeah, Kevin
What
ordered it.
about, you know?
And I came in and there it was. It was like, that's great.
So yeah.
But Dan is the Raiders fan.
Oh, Dan,
Dan's
sorry.
a big
Dan,
Raiders
he's a
fan.
Raiders fan. How does that happen?
I don't know. It's probably somebody in his family, and he had to have a rivalry. You know, Dan had a rivalry.
Abe says, "What's up, man?"
Hey, Abe.
And Van Halen rocks, Tony. Your Met leg is cool too. From Abe.
I like the Met leg, Met fan. You know.
That's right.
You know.
Although, but yeah, and see, that's the fun. One of the fun things that come in here. Every time I come here, Dan always makes sure they have a Yankee room and a Met room. You know, where you get work done. Dan always makes sure I get put in the Yankee room. You know, so that's the kind of fun we have around here.
It's cool. We got to do it for patients who are like refuse. They said, no matter what, I'll wait for room 4. I'm a Mets fan. I'm just put me in room 4. It's occupied. I'll wait a half hour. That's okay. And those I respect them. That's cool.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
got to stick with what you're loyal to.
All right, so I want to get back to the history, but I just figured since we have this leg, I don't know, for people who aren't too familiar, this is a running leg. This is Mike's, and it's
I'm gonna come in a little close. If that's
Okay.
okay.
so now I've never had one, so correct me if I'm wrong, but basically you are kind of bouncing on it like a spring, right?
It's a very powerful spring.
So, and this
You
is
can
the,
bounce it. Just drop
Really,
it.
yeah? Oh, okay.
See how strong it is. And that's, you're putting your weight and you're running on it,
Yeah.
it springs you a pretty good distance. It's really good.
Right, and because of the spring, say if you're running to first base, you actually would have to stop maybe like halfway, or start to stop maybe halfway through because the spring, right? Doesn't it carry you like?
Well, this
Not so
only
easy
goes
to
one
stop
way.
it.
Right,
You have-
that's
you have
my
to kind of
point.
like hop at the end of your stop, you know.
There used to
Right.
be a hole in the wall here behind me from the first time I tried a running leg.
Oh,
because
really?
I didn't know that I had to slow down by hopping, and I tried to stop. I went down.
And he
and
realized
tried
he was
to-
going close to the wall. He said, "Oh boy, I can't stop." And
And
yeah.
the video of this is where?
It's everywhere, actually. I have it on my
have it.
phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see.
So the front, everyone in the front came running back. They thought the ceiling collapsed, and it was just me smashing into the wall.
No, it's just my.
And it was my knee put a hole right in.
Yeah, he just
In the sheet.
right in the bottom. Yeah. Right in the bottom.
That is great.
Boom.
But it didn't hurt. I don't know how.
Well, yeah, you're not going to feel anything. I
No,
don't
this
feel a thing.
is the one that it.
Oh, okay.
Or we put soft sheetrock just for that reason.
Right.
Hey,
Bouncy
Brian
sheetrock.
Festa is back.
Brian Festa. Hello, Brian
He
Festa.
said he's the one-legged Florida pirate.
Right,
He's
Brian.
in the
Yeah, he's a
house.
friend of ours who was down in Florida, and he's an amputee. Brian, forgive me, I don't remember how you're an amputee, but Brian is.
Yeah,
I don't know if we ever got his story actually, but he's a faithful watcher, and sometimes we compare notes a little bit.
Dan's on. He said that he was much better than Sal will ever be at being a guest. Oh no, he said Sal's a much better guest than me. Sorry, I read it wrong.
I think that's why I was asked to come back. I think Sal was
Dan,
jealous.
when do you have your radio socket over? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
So when you crashed to the wall, that was after that class we took? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you did know how to run.
No, but I didn't have a running leg on that.
No, you're right. You didn't.
I didn't.
No.
So it was my first time.
No, I think actually you took the course after that because you actually took your running leg there with you, and you're like, I don't know, should I try this on? And I said, no, run in Eugenia.
You were there.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You and
You had it in your bag.
You and Eva there. Oh,
Yeah.
All right. Now
So
that
that was
makes sense.
that was like your first time run.
This is really funny. You asked how Brian lost his leg. He
Yeah.
said, someone cut my leg off. That's how it usually happens. I never thought about that.
That's true.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, I was just teaching about the running class. That's funny. Have you done any classes since?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Self-taught.
Oh yeah, and you got the hang
Yeah,
of it?
I picked it up pretty quick.
Yeah?
It's really great actually.
There's no doubt.
It's
I'm
amazing.
going down.
Well, there's no heel on it, so
Right.
you kind of have to get used to that. And the spring is enormous. It's just like really
Right.
dynamic.
I remember that class, and there's classes out there to help you to learn to walk, to learn to run, whatever it is you need to do. Because the idea is to get back to the life you had prior. That's the idea. So and these guys are great with that too, letting us know when there's classes or things coming up to help out.
Yeah, we always want to push you forward. You always
Right.
want to, whatever level you reach, we want to keep going a little bit, get you more comfortable, get you more active.
And you can check out their website, which is also part of the reason we're here. We're pushing their new website, which is being revamped, and I believe any day now, right? We're going to see the new website.
It should be coming up.
Yep. But even now, the website now, you can see videos. Like there's some stairs over there where people, they practice going up and down. So there's always, it's not just take the leg and hit the road. It's they're always helping us out, doing the right thing. I remember there was one class. It was before the running class. I think it was just for walking purposes. Dan had me go, and it was what's the guy's name? Gailey? He said his name?
Oh, Bob Gailey.
Bob
He
Gailey.
does run, yeah, he does
Right,
run.
he does a lot of those classes, and it wasn't a class with what is this Autobot, right?
Right.
And then there was another company that was bringing him in for this class.
Oh, yeah, Oser.
That was
He
it,
does a
Oser.
lot of work with Oser.
So Dan said to me, you have to wear your Oser leg. I don't know.
No, it wasn't. It was a course, and you were a patient model at a course.
Right.
That's what it was, and they were testing out. I think the new Rio or something. And
Yes.
You had to put on
Yes.
one of your old like
Right,
bounce.
a leg that I never wore,
Right.
totally uncomfortable, and it doesn't bend as well as
Right.
these. It's a
It's
little
not
more
nearly
manual.
as stable. It's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like going back and driving a vehicle from like 1975 and no anti-lock brakes and no
Exactly.
power steering. And
Very
you
good.
can drive it, but you're gonna take a couple of wrong turns.
So we go to this class, and Mike Valente, I don't know if Mike is, I don't think he's in the
He's
business
not in the
anymore.
business anymore.
Well, okay, never mind. That's someone else.
What's that?
It was a last name that was really similar, so I thought he
Oh.
wrote in.
So Mike Valente, who I went to high school with, I grew up with Mike Valente, he at the time was in the prosthetic business, so he was there, and he kind of worked it out that I was going to be like the go-to guy, the model, showing the rest of the class how to do things, not knowing that I
Put
don't.
this on for the first time and show us how to do it.
That's what it was, and so I had no idea, and so every time they called me up to do something, I would fall on my ass. This went on all freaking day, and we were hysterical. And every time I look at you guys in the back with Valente, you guys were like, holy shit. It was just constant. We were laughing our balls off. It was great, and I think we eventually did tell
Well,
them.
some of the challenge athlete found even with Bob Yaley, he does them a lot of times at like these turf fields with like
Right, which is where we put the class, right.
A lot of cushion. I mean, people are going down all over the place because you learn how to run for the first time.
Sure.
He's got you running down cones and obstacle courses.
Right.
You have to just catch your foot once and, you know, your
Sure.
face planting, and there are people going down.
Oh,
you know?
constantly.
But it's, you know, soft, and
Yeah.
he's got gait belts on him, and he's got
Right.
physical therapists there.
Oh, he's
so,
fantastic.
I mean,
Yeah.
so it's...
And there are tons of people with this, and yeah, I would. And what do you use it for? I mean, are you? We were talking a little bit before
Just
about
to
it.
run. I was an athlete. You know, I ran all over the place. I played ice hockey, baseball, football. You know, you name it. I always ran. I would jog. I would run. And then when you lose your leg, you can't run anymore.
Right.
Would you use it for baseball?
I haven't. No, I just sprinting.
This is best
Straight.
for straightaway running, because just the way that this foot is set up, it's not set up to go side to side. So if you go side to side, there's really no articulation. All the carbon fibers is meant to go forward.
I see, because of the angle, so it's kind of pushing you forward.
It's pushing you forward. So if you try to do any type of lateral movement, this is going to be thrown off.
I would be afraid
You'd
to
be
go
better off
make a
with
turn
like-
because you could probably catch your foot on it and you're going to go down
Yeah,
anyway.
you're better
Oh,
off.
so you can't even make it.
So if you're making it right,
Right.
it's going to be hard to make it go that way because
Yeah.
the hydraulic on the knee only goes straight.
Oh,
So
okay.
you'd
Like
end
a lot
up
of these
doing
feet you have-
you'd end up doing a lot of straight-legged, you know,
Yeah.
moves, and, you know, kind of
Like,
circumducting your
They
leg.
can put a foot on that's going to turn a little bit, but that's got no turn, so it's just
Right.
meant for straight. But I just running. That's it. I just want to run it. You know?
It's
Sure.
really for exercise. You know,
Yeah.
you know.
And the first time I got on it, it was the first one I tried was
Well, you've been going to the track too with it, right?
I did
You always
last
stick it to the
yeah
track.
last year before it got cold out I was using it and it was just so long. And then when I finally ran with the first time when we crashed into the wall, it was just such a great feeling to just run again. I'm like, wow, I haven't done this
Until you hit the wall.
until I hit the wall. But then we went outside, we did all right. But it's great just to get up and run. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, last summer I went on the softball field for the first time since, and I was on the field for 3 hours. I would not come off the field. I was just playing the whole time. Had an absolute blast, but yeah, I couldn't run for shit, but I was having so much fun just being out there. Felt it the next day, but it was totally worth it, man. It was worth it, worth every second. Yeah, you told me that before. The Genium, you can run, but what is there, a loose mode or something that you can?
You could put it in a more active mode, or like your running mode.
A Genium is one of the brands, a brand of leg.
It's a style of it's one of the more high-end microprocessor controlled knees. So you're not going to buckle that knee when you're running. So you can just take off and you can stop and start again, and your knee is not going to buckle. It's not going to give way, and you know, you might not get the best in time. Like if you were to run at a Genium on a track, straight up and down, this you'll get better time, right? If you're running for time. But if you're running for sport, fun, and athletics, a Genium is going to be much safer, more stable, and it's just, you know, really that and the X3 are the best knees in the world. There's no doubt. I mean, the X3 is the same as the Genium,
Right.
other than it's waterproof. That's really the big
Oh,
difference. So, but the Genium X3 function the same.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing for, you know, for people who aren't up on this. You know, the technology is just amazing with the computer chips and the hydraulics, which makes it possible to run on a leg like a Genium. However, I think one thing that isn't, at least from my experience, doesn't get discussed much is the mental aspect. You know, like talking about taking that class. You know, and I have a Genium. I'm wearing my Genium now. I still don't. It's in my head. I just can't, you know, move my leg that way to make the leg bend. I don't trust it. You know, and the mental aspect. I think a lot of us.
To run?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. You know,
Right, I mean, that's why Bob Yaley is fantastic at teaching you how to run, because he breaks down running in its parts. Like, you learned this as a little baby, right? A little kid learning to run.
Right.
And now you have to consciously think of every move. Right? Bend the knee, pick it up,
Right.
kick it out there, land on the leg, trust the knee that it's gonna hold you. And that's what he does well. He teaches you how to hop on it and build that prosthetic trust. And then he tells you to pull back your leg, and each portion of the cycle of running just breaks it down. And so if you want to run, I mean, you should probably YouTube his videos, or, you know, take a course or Bob Gale, I mean,
Does he still goes around?
I think he does. I mean, I haven't heard too much about it, but I think he does. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look him up.
I mean, I've seen him do lectures not too long ago, so he's still pretty active in the industry.
Someone said that they're an above knee, and she says she runs with a straight pylon and circumduction. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
what's circumduction?
So what she's doing is she's keeping the knee completely straight, and she's just using the energy storage of the foot, and she's circumducting. She's just doing
like
it in a circular motion. She's to clear the ground. So if you bend your knee, you're going to clear the floor better, right, as you're swinging it. If you keep it straight, you'd have to go to the side. So she can, she probably just runs by circumducting the leg to the side.
So like, let's say you were hitting a ball and you're playing softball. Would that work to go to first and then let your knee bend once you get on first? Like, what would you do if you were playing baseball?
I'd use a microprocessor knee. I'd recommend you use that because, when you're swinging, when you're throwing, the knee's not going to buckle. You do need to bend and, crouch. And I also think by getting that knee to flex, it's a more natural motion, a little less on the hips and the back and the body.
And the more you use a microprocessor knee, the more you know what it's going to do and what you can do on it too.
Yeah.
You could jump, you could take a quick step, you could kneel down, and you know what the legs are going to do. With experience and the knowledge of how good it is,
Yeah.
the microprocessor is amazing. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to an amputee.
Oh, and
that revolutionized.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's just totally advanced things by years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it was kind of an overnight thing, or not?
Once it burst on the scene, it was actually the late 90s.
Right.
And then it took about 2 or 3 years to start getting popularity. And once, the main company started using it, we were one of the first on Long Island to fit it. Dan was one of those first. I remember taking a class and I came back and I said, Dan, we got to get on this sea leg. The sea leg was the first one.
Right.
And he was always a mouth user and, he's a creature of habit. He likes his things. And I said, you have to try this knee. You got to get on it. And all right. And he gave it a shot.
And before that, it was basically like a wooden, almost like a pirate net.
Had a piston in there with hydraulics, but the patient had to control it every movement. So once you unlock that hydraulic, you can go down unless you forcefully pull your muscles. Whereas the microprocessor knee, the computer's thinking for you.
Right.
It's taking all that information and making a choice to make it stiff, somewhat stiff, free and easy, how fast it flows. So it functions through the gait cycle. When you're swinging it, when you're standing on it, when you're hitting it, when you're striking the ground, and it's the most stable knee that you can. You probably know, and you could tell anybody better than anybody else that your primary thing is to not have the knee buckle or bend or trust in putting your leg on, putting your weight on it, and then it's the flexing and the bending and the kicking it out and not circumducting the leg, things like that.
Right. It is Limb Loss Awareness Month, the month of April. I learned to run from the Challenge Athletes Foundation Running Clinic. Yeah, isn't that?
That was it.
That's good.
Bob Gale. He runs. Well, he runs the one that came to New York, but so maybe.
Oh, someone says you guys are looking real good.
Who would that be?
That would be Salvatore Martella.
We love you, Dad.
He's the best. He's the best. He's come to, I think, 3 of our comedy shows.
Yeah. I'm by the third one, I'm like, oh, that's Sal's daddy.
He's cool. He's really cool. He's a TV star.
He is a big star.
Mike, did you used to ice skate?
I played ice hockey.
Yeah, Abe said he wants to get you back on the ice. Is that? Do people do that?
We tried it. I did it when I first got the gene. We went to
there was an ice skate, inline skating mode.
Roslyn, I think. Yeah. There is a skating mode. We didn't use it. Well, we didn't know about it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We just didn't use it. It was probably because it was my first time on the ice. It was really, really hard, but I did a few laps and I didn't fall actually, which was the best part about it. I stayed up the whole time. I don't know if you could really ice skate. You could glide. I guess you could. What's the word I'm looking for? I guess you could just glide around, but you're not going to play hockey.
No,
that's never going to happen. You're not going to figure skate, that's for sure, and you're not going to race. But you'll, when you go to the public sessions and you see people just doing laps, you can do it.
Okay. That's what I would imagine it's difficult to get an edge.
You can't get an edge.
You can't get an edge.
You got to push with the other side, or you push with Well, I did push a little bit, but then you're going right.
Right.
You can't push like this way to go straight. You're gonna go like this, and then like that, like this, and then like that.
Right.
So
Like
you
scaling.
yeah, and you're constantly going. Well, I was gonna be going right the whole time, but that's all right. I was just happy to be on the ice.
Okay.
If I had a stick, I probably would have done a lot better. It was just me and
Right, that
Couple
might
guys.
balance you a little bit.
I probably would have done a lot better. So yes, Abe, let's get back on the ice.
There you go.
So all right, so you had all right. So it's not. Do you do like a street hockey or something?
Well,
or?
no, before I lost my leg, I played ice hockey.
Right, I'm saying now.
Oh, since then, no, I
No, okay.
play golf,
Oh, okay.
go to the batting cage, hit a ball,
Nice.
that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Run with the running leg.
Right.
But I want to definitely try to get back on the ice again because I'm a lot better with the leg now than I probably was then with the gene because I had just gotten it,
Right.
and now I know it. I know it a lot more than I did then. So I think I can probably do a little better. And with the stick, with balance, I'll definitely get pretty much better.
Yeah, and that was the problem I had when I first met these guys because I used to climb poles for a living, and you have to your ankle has to kind of come up a little bit, you know, and get at a certain angle to drive the spikes into the pole, and yeah, same thing, we just couldn't figure it out.
You were on poles for the phone company, right?
Yeah.
You're doing this time.
I was young, I needed the money.
Just wanted to clarify.
It is a form of exercise, a good exercise. Yeah, so it's kind of like the same idea that we just couldn't. And poor Dan, he worked, and you two guys worked your asses off trying to make that happen for me, but better off. and when how'd you lose your leg? A motorcycle accident?
Car accident.
Car accident, okay.
That's what Brian Festus said that he did. So
Same thing, yeah? Oh, okay.
Yeah, car accident, hit a guardrail, went through the front of the car, hit me right from here up. It didn't cut my leg off in the car, but it was attached by like skin and muscle in the back.
Wow.
And went to the hospital. The doctor said, "You might not. When you wake up, you might not have a leg. So just be prepared." I went, "All right." I woke up and I didn't have a leg.
Wow.
It was just mangled. It was destroyed from.
And you were 18, you said?
I was 18. Yeah.
So, and so you were dealing with, so this is before Sea Legs too, right?
Oh, way before. This was 1989. Yeah.
Oh, it's been that long?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought you were younger than me for some reason. Yeah, we're around the same age. Okay. But now, all right, so this is the interesting part, because I'm retired from the phone company, but when I was still active when I had my shark bite. So
You pirates are all.
that's right. So yeah, guys at the phone company kept, probably for a couple of years, I think it was, kept telling me about this guy Mike, who works in Hempstead, and the phone company doesn't even know that he has, a prosthetic leg, and you got to go talk to him and see what he's all about. And because I had difficulty keeping my job, and I won't get into that much.
I didn't work outside. I was
Right.
inside. So
Right.
there was no need for them to even know.
Right. But it was funny though, because then, and I did. I actually went to Hempstead once looking for you. I couldn't find you. But I think it was only the one time I went there looking, because I was in Hempstead, in the garage in Hempstead. But yeah, I can't tell you how many guys, I'd be, the word eventually would get around, and I'd see guys for the first time. Oh, yeah, I heard what happened. Oh, there's a guy in Hempstead. Yeah, I know, Mike, I know. But never met him, and then was here one day. And I remember I
think you were walking in.
The other place
I was walking out. You were walking in.
Yeah.
It was this one.
And we just got to talking, and all of a sudden, then he said his name was Mike. I was like, wait a minute, you can't be that phone company guy. I had no idea that we had the same, went to the same place. And then to make it even weirder, he's cousins with somebody I was close to in high school. It's just, actually, Dawn. Boyle.
Dawn Boyle.
Oh,
That's his cousin.
really? Oh, that's great. I
So
didn't know
yeah,
that.
so we have all sorts of weird connections.
And back to that too. Yeah, they kept telling me, this guy Tony, he works for Verizon. He's, like, I don't know what he meant most guys that have worked outside.
Right.
But for a couple of years, I knew all about you, and I figured eventually I'd run into you somewhere.
But you figured it'd be phone company
Right.
related or
Not
something. I had
actually,
no
yeah.
idea. Yeah. So that's kind of strange. Okay. Brian Fester was bitten by a shark on the right foot years before I lost my right leg. Oh, really? You're saying that's true? You really
Probably.
were?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
Probably.
All right. So like I said, it's Limb Loss Awareness Month. I asked you quickly before we went on, but I figured we'd save it for when we are on. Why do we need, in your opinion, a limb loss awareness month? I know insurance for a lot of people is an issue.
That is,
state regulations.
Always the human element, right? First, I mean, the patient, in our opinion, patient first, and just be sensitive to patients' needs, and that their life is not easy, right? I mean, we can watch you guys ambulate, walk around, and you can run and ice skate, and go back to work, but at the end of the day, you have to go to the bathroom, you have to take your leg on and off. You get up in the middle of the night, you hop into the bathroom on one leg.
Isn't it?
Everything you have to apply to prosthesis, and it's not exactly like sitting in a Sealy Posturepedic, right? You're putting weight on a piece of carbon that's on a bone that's not fun. So, just to understand that even though you watch people who are so functional and do remarkable things, it's not an easy life, and some of the regulations that are going on, what concerns me is that it becomes a little more difficult to obtain a high quality prosthesis. Insurance companies have become a little more difficult with the authorization process. Documentation is crazy.
Well, and let me just stop you for a minute, because that's the thing too. It's not one size fits all. It's not getting one and then you're done. It's an ever moving process. It's an ongoing process, pretty much forever.
Yeah, your body's adaptive.
Right. You lose weight, you gain weight. Things change. So you always have to get new legs, or you get certain things have to be refitted, or just the socket. You just need a new socket. There's always something going on. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, and I don't know why people have a hard time understanding that. You have a car and you need a new one several years later. You get a pair of shoes. You need a new pair of shoes. People just don't hand it to you at 18 and think you're going to have it forever, but people do.
Unfortunately, the insurance companies, sometimes it's an issue, and state regulations. There's some struggle.
You can wear the same knee and foot for 6 or 7 years, but you'll need 7 or 8 sockets along the way.
Absolutely right.
What we got. That's insurance is the big thing.
So that's something that as policies change and they do policy forums, and in Washington they go through, the lawmakers are deciding how they want to budget their money and things like that. But put the human element to the person that is wearing the prosthesis. Forget looking at what the number is or how much things cost, or equating it to a car. I mean, if your knee costs what a BMW costs, you'd rather drive the BMW than have to wear this, right? I mean, it's not exactly, you can't exactly call it on par. So it's, to keep in mind as things going forward, when they do make these policies or change Medicare laws, because the insurance companies follow Medicare law, that there is still a little voice for, the amputee population, that there are, 2 million people in the country living with them, and there's, 500 performed a day in the country, so
500 amputees a day.
Amputations in the country. Yeah, so
really,
it's a big number.
I never would have thought it was that many.
Most of them are just vascular problems, but still, this vascular patient still ambulate unbelievably well. They're playing our golf tournament. They go back to raising their kids or grandchildren.
Sure.
Maintaining their home. You have to go shop. You have to go eat. You have to go to healthcare appointments. You have to do all these things, and we're not meant to do it on one leg. We're meant to be ambulating on two legs.
Sure.
Bipodal.
And a lot of times it's not even the leg; it's the phantom pains and things that sometimes just never really go away.
Dermatological issues. I mean, you can get skin issues just like I can.
Yeah,
that's never ending.
Yeah,
right.
It's like,
that's forever.
Clean. You're wearing something for 14 hours a day. It's inside of a
again, the summers
a silicone socket.
Right. It gets hot in there, man.
Yeah, I try to stay in the summer as much as I can.
And you have you get phantom pain or no?
Not much anymore, but I did for years. And it was unbelievable. I still thought I would feel my foot, like the bottom of my foot, felt like it was getting tickled, and it was missing for 12, 13 years already.
Yeah.
But you still feel it. You get the nerves in the knee, and like if you touch something here on this part of your knee, where I have my skin graft, if I touch something here, I feel it on this side.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's probably all in my head. I don't know.
No, it isn't in your head.
It's nerves. I don't know how this whole system works, but
that's
you can
exactly
feel stuff that's not there.
That's exactly what happened to me, because they cut the skin this way, and then they took all that skin away, and then they folded it up. So the doctor even said to me, he goes, even though you can see it, it still does not register in your brain that the skin changed position. So I do the same thing. And sometimes I'll just do it for fun. I'll just sit there, because I'll rub my skin here, but then I'll feel it like back here somewhere, because the brain is getting mixed messages, and so it doesn't know where to go. So you feel it in other parts. And I do it sometimes. I'll watch the TV and I'll just because it's weird. You feel it in someone's else.
Brian said he can still wiggle his toes in his stump.
I just did it.
Yeah.
I've had that sensation.
Yeah.
Now Brian, he's below the knee amputee. He's an amateur. He doesn't count. Those guys still have a knee, man. They're lucky.
Yeah.
Sounds like,
I've never seen
uh-oh. Here we go.
Minor leagues.
Absolutely, minor leagues. They can climb stairs. Get out of here. Today is the actual 5-year anniversary of Brian getting his first prosthetic leg. Hey, happy anniversary to you, Brian. Very nice. You happy down there in Florida with your prosthetists?
Oh yeah, you guys are talking about how horrible it is in the heat. Why live in that all the time? That's gotta be rough.
That's gotta be tough.
Never ever.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I could never do it.
And then even
Couldn't do it.
I mean, I live in air conditioning, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like move to
Cool.
Maine or something.
All the time, so.
Oh yeah, I sweat in 50-degree weather for crying out loud. All right, changing the subject for a second. So in doing my, working hard and doing my research, getting ready for this episode today, I discovered something I didn't, knew. I've known you for what, I don't know, 12 years?
12 years.
Yeah, at least. I've been an amputee for 13, and I started coming about a year or so in. So yeah, around 12, 13 years. But I just, yesterday, from doing my research, SAL MARTELLA was a competitive bodybuilder?
Yes, I was.
I did not. Did
That's
you know
when I
that?
had a lot more hair,
What does your hair have to do with it?
I don't know. Just meant I was younger.
Well, so what? So you're not going to show us a little something? Come on,
on,
roll the sleeve.
Sal was jacked, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I got some.
When I knew you?
I wasn't competing then. It
No,
was
but
all natural
you
shows.
were in
It was
good
all
shape,
natural.
Yeah?
In good shape, yeah. I still.
Well,
His
yeah,
muscles
like,
are too big to roll up his sleeves.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And I swear to you, as soon as we walked in tonight, the first thing I did was I was just talking, just kind of eyeing up his arms.
So shaved.
Did you do all that? You would shave your whole body?
Yeah.
Really?
Spray tan?
Spray tan.
Speedo?
Speedo, the whole thing.
Oh, there's got it.
There
Dad,
has to be.
Dad,
There's no
please.
pictures on the wall, though.
Dad, please bring a picture at the next show you come to, Dad,
He's got him
please.
in his wallet.
It should
You want a
be
picture?
on the new website.
God damn.
It should be. Linda was
Linda
watching. I
should
don't know if
be
she
on
still
it.
is.
All right.
Oh, there she is. Is that a Robert Graham shirt, Sal?
No, it is not a Robert Graham shirt.
What's
That's
a-
from Dan. Got it.
No, that's from Linda.
No, it's from
Linda.
Linda.
No, it is not.
And Abe says he's still jacked.
Yeah.
Abe says you need custom clothes to fit your muscles.
Custom shirts. If not, it's
What?
baggy and.
I don't know what a Robert Graham shirt is. What is
It's
that?
a brand of Robert Graham.
Oh.
Dan wears a lot of them.
I don't know.
Only
They
these
have
stylish
these
bodybuilders.
funky, doodads on the sleeves. And,
All right. So what is that then?
This is, I don't know, but it's not a Robert Graham shirt. But it actually came from the tailor because got a, if not, they bag you out that way. And, I don't look. I have heat.
Yeah, Linda says Sal on the website in a Speedo. Yes, Linda, that is my request. I want to see that picture on
That'd
the
be
website.
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's gotta be like the front picture.
That's right.
Yeah, I had no idea. That's something. Did you win anything or?
I did. I won a couple of shows actually.
Really?
I won one teenage show, and I won one. Actually, the last show I was in, but I was like 24 years old. So.
And now, all right, but I'm not.
30 years ago.
I know you're going to be shocked to hear this, but I'm not up on that world at all. I know it's hard to believe, but what would you win for? Is it just like the
physique,
look,
yeah,
or did you have weight? I don't know.
No, it's not actually
It's-
like
so it's
lifted
just-
weights.
right.
That's one of the other guys at the office. He can throw telephone poles in the air.
Rob?
Yeah.
He's
But,
like 8 feet tall. That guy.
Yeah. No, this is
It's like
like
another time zone.
Yeah. Different air he's breathing.
Yeah.
So we, get your body into a physique peak condition position that you're, you know, minimal body fat. I mean, you could, you know, put your skin is like this, or like just like you can't pull it at all. It's just tight, and you know, six pack, and you know.
And you would do all the poses and stuff?
Every pose, yeah.
Really?
I could, you know, of course, you know, when I'm driving in the car. Some people sing in the car. Like, flash my bicep and
Sitting at a red light,
That's
there's
right.
a nice looking girl next to him. Just,
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
right. Hold on, let me change the station, even though you can do it from this.
Maybe adjust your mirror,
Yeah.
even though it's electric.
That's right.
I could use a directional, but I'm going to put my hand out the window to
I'm
make
going to
it
change the
right.
directional with my nipple. That's great. Wow. All right. So yeah, Dad, bring pictures to the next show. You know, would love to see that. All right. So again, we're here at Progressive Orthotics and Prosthetics. They have a new website that's going to come out very soon. Linda, when is it coming out? Linda,
She said a few days. She said a while ago. She said,
all right.
yeah, it's coming out in a few days.
And with that website, they're also going to have bloggers. Bloggers. People will blog. Do you even know what that means? You look very confused.
You know, I'm not a big social media.
He's not even on
guy.
Facebook, this guy. I don't get it. I don't get it. Even Dan's on Facebook.
He is.
Dan.
He's got a computer science degree. I mean,
Oh, that's true. That's true. What was it? IBM you worked for?
IBM.
IBM. So yeah, so a blogger is, you know, someone who can just, you know, write stories and post it on the site and just, you know, random thoughts. And they so yeah, Progressive will have blogs on their new website. And I was lucky enough to get to read the very first blog that's going to be on their site. Did you know that? You didn't even know that, did you?
I didn't know it. Is it the one you wrote?
Well, there you go, because I wrote it. Linda was nice enough to ask me to be the very first blogger, so I was very excited and very honored, because I do love this place. This place is fantastic. And I guess you too. Because I did not start out here. I started out with a different guy, and
I did not either.
Flat out, the guy was a dick. So luckily, I was able to find these guys and completely change. I mean, yeah, just night and day. Night and day. Like I said, everybody here is friendly. Everybody has they have answers. They have the know-how. They can. There's nothing they can't do really here. It's just fantastic.
It's a real business. I was going to a guy.
But it's more than a business.
But,
you know?
no, they run it like they know how to do everything. Every
Sure.
aspect of the field, they have somebody who knows
Absolutely
about it.
right.
I was going to a guy who was a great guy. I loved him. He was awesome. I was good friends with him. But he didn't have the material and the resources and all that. So he did the fitting. His partner did the billing, and that was it. It was just the two of the guys. And I came here because I couldn't get a sea leg through them.
Oh wow.
They tried for 2 years and just deny. He one day just said, "Mike, I'm sorry, but I can't get it. I think you should go to a bigger outfit."
And he recommended these guys, or
I lived near them.
Oh, okay.
And I drove by and said, I came in and asked Varsha, "Do you guys make sea legs?" She said, "Sure." Dan wears one.
Right.
I went, "Dan who?" She goes, "Dan's one of the owners." I went, "Okay, let's talk. Set me up. Give me an appointment."
Yeah.
I didn't even get an appointment. Dan was there. "Come on back."
Yeah.
3 weeks later, I had a sea leg.
Oh wow.
That's how good these guys are.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's just, I'm talking about the business side of things. But
Sure.
personally, they're the best. If I lived in California, I'd fly back here to get a leg.
Absolutely right.
Without a doubt.
And how hard is it? Speaking of, you know, since you guys saying that you guys, you know, have an answer for it and you know it all, is it hard keeping up with all the technology, or you know, is it not so bad now? Because it
Not
seems
so
like
bad, because once you know you're proficient in the sea leg and the Rio, then you just keep moving on, and you know the next thing builds on the last technology. It's not like they reinvent the wheel. They just keep making things better and better, and the software is similar. Even though I'm not a big computer guy, and you know everybody knows that, but I can program a Genium and a sea leg with the best of them.
You
so,
can.
And you know I'm really you know it's easy for me to get into. As long as I can turn a computer on, then I'm pretty good with it. But to keep up with the technology, it's not that difficult. And Autobot, the company itself, is great at providing educational and support. They send around Mark Edwards, which is like the top clinical educator. OSER also the same thing. They have clinical educators and you know other prosthetists on staff. So whenever something is coming out, like we want it to come out with it, you know. The thing you got to be careful with is when it, you know, somebody wants to invent something every day, right? Every foot that comes out is the best foot. Every socket that comes out is the best socket. Every liner that comes out is the best, softest liner, most comfortable. You have to have a little know-how on how to determine what would be viable and what isn't. I mean, there were things that came out 10 years ago, not in existence anymore. 15 years ago, greatest foot that came out, serious foot. You know, had all these prongs on it that I took apart one day and not made anymore. So like things that come out, you have to determine, like, is this like legitimate, or is this like a flash in the pan? So, but for the most part, if Autobach invents something, it's usually, you know, here to stay. And the same thing with Oser and, you know, the big companies. So
How many other big companies are there?
not many really.
There is, right?
Autobach and Oser really are the big players.
Is Malk still in business?
Well, Malk is owned by Oser.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So a lot of them consolidated, and you know, they made them each component better and better. You know, they advanced them, and so I'd like to see newer things come out, not just, you know, improvements on what's there. I would like to see, you know, some added features to different knees and.
But there, I mean, I don't know if I'm going in a different direction here, or if we want to talk about it. But even the osseointegration, that's that. Am I understanding you right? That's kind of something new.
That's something new, and that's making some headway right there.
Making a lot of headway.
Yeah,
I wanted that so bad.
Yeah, I hear you. But
you know,
it's too new though, right? Is that your reservation?
No. Well, Sal made he was pretty good with the way he explained it to me. He just said, you know, I think it was, what if it doesn't work? You know, what if your body doesn't take.
Well, that's what I mean by too new.
Yeah.
So
Your
we're
skin's open and.
Right. There's this new technology that, I don't know, within the past 5 years, would you say, that this came out?
it's been out even, you know, before that, but probably the last 5 years they've gotten better with it and less infections and you know, a lot more success with the surgeries.
That's what scared me.
Right. Yeah. So basically, it's a surgery where they basically hammer up the titanium into your stump, into your bone, and then this part, that, you know, the actual leg, the titanium, it basically is attached to your actual leg, which is nice because then you get rid of, you know, because this is the part that, you know, that you're dying in the heat and, you know, rides up and, you know, can be a pain in the ass. But
literally.
Yeah. So that's so to get rid of that piece would be a dream come true. But you know, that technology, that procedure is still fairly new. So we and did you go to you guys hosted that event?
Yeah,
were you there?
yeah.
Yeah, because we were there too, and
It's fascinating.
extremely fascinating. And they had people there that have done it, and they seem like they're doing great. But
yeah, I've seen them at the conventions. I mean, they still walk around pretty well with it, and seems that, I mean, they haven't told me they had any problems with it.
Another thing that he told me that kind of turned me off was that you can't really beat on it. You got to go a little softer. And
oh, really?
Yeah, and when I'm walking on my leg, I'm all out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't take it easy. I don't rest. I don't go soft.
Well, I'll give you an example. Like Dan, he is kneeling all day on his prosthesis. He kneels on the end
Yes, he does.
of the leg, and I don't know what that effect would have as pulling on that implant. I mean, it might be okay. Maybe he fractures it or breaks it.
Right.
Then, you know, one time of doing that, you know, he's kneeling on the ground, and he's not always in the cleanest of surfaces, right?
Sure.
And, you know, like I would be concerned about getting. That would be my concern. And you know, when you're already super functional, like you're running around and going to work and wearing a prosthesis, you still have to clip that on.
Yeah.
You still have to take care of that site. You do get rid of the discomfort of the socket, but you know, like those are dice. I don't know if I would.
Is that
roll yet?
Like FDA approved kind of thing here yet?
It's getting it. One of the implants is FDA approved, but I believe they're working on the implant that Moonjet, I think it was.
You had a guy in here that had both of his legs done.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Both? Would that really?
I think a bilateral amputee obviously would be, because to wear sockets and wear prosthesis with that is really difficult.
Sure.
You know.
How's he doing?
Yeah, it's working out.
You know, I haven't seen him, so he's
That's a
probably
good
doing
thing,
all right.
yeah.
But
Right,
he's working. You know, he just came in here to talk to Dan about it, so we really didn't work with him. He actually works with other prosthetists.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we said, you know, go work with him on getting the GNMs. I mean, he worked with you for all these years, you know. You have to go about it.
Wow. all right. So what's the strangest thing that's anybody's ever said to you about, or the strangest experience? Do you have any?
Yeah, sure. All right, going to an airport, first time after 9/11. I figured they would check me out real good. I could have walked on there with a machine gun. I said, I got a fake leg. The guy went, he took a wand and went, boop, 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 boop. I said, okay, go ahead. I could have had a gun that long in my pants.
I had the exact opposite happen to me. The first time I went
They
to the
didn't even
airport.
check.
They brought me into the room. They had me take it off. They checked the whole thing inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
Delayed me probably a good hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's fun.
What else? When I had a girl over one night, and there was it was just like a date, you know, hanging out, and there was a prosthetic leg in the corner, and she said, "What's that?" I said, "It's a prosthetic leg." She goes, "Why do you have a prosthetic leg in the corner?" And I said, I wear a prosthetic leg." She didn't even believe me. She's like, "No, you don't. No, you don't." I was with her all night, hung out all night.
So you were forced to take off your pants for this girl.
Here I go again.
Yeah, so it's a funny story.
If I must.
All right.
She was pretty shocked when she found out, but it's funny, you know. I like to tell that story. She had no idea.
Wow, that's a good trick. Trying to get a
You
girl
get a
to the
lot of
house.
questions like, do you sleep with it at night? Like people think you
Yeah.
like never, like it's attached for life.
How do you take a shower? Do you sleep with it? Do you go to
Yeah.
the bathroom? You take it off? It comes off all the time.
Yeah.
You don't sleep with it. You don't shower with it. You don't.
And you don't use a water leg for the beach
No,
or
I
the
don't
pool
know.
or anything. So you're like me. You get into the pool and you just swim in circles.
That's it.
Dan uses.
I kind of
He
go like
uses
this
a
all
water
the
leg,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, he uses
He
a
uses
water leg.
his prosthesis for the water.
I don't know.
But he's going on a boat.
Yeah, he's a big
so
water guy.
He's got to get in and out of the, he gets out of the water and he's getting on his boat.
I'm so afraid to
walking
go on a
around.
boat. I love going on boats, but just getting from the dock to the boat, and the boat's never really there, and it's always, you know, the water's here, then I'm just afraid I'm gonna fall.
Yeah, I have the same fear.
I flip in as fast as I can. I hop right in.
Yeah, because these things get submerged. Forget it, right?
You got to come out real quick.
You got to come out quick.
Yeah. So, yeah, I do. I'm always worried about that. Always.
Yeah.
All right. So what about you? You must have had some interesting patients, or
Not really. I mean, there's not too much in the way of like, crazy, stories or.
How you're
interesting
so
things.
lying.
Yeah,
That can't
absolutely.
be. Okay, so another friend who works somewhere else had a story.
Yeah, not a friend. No.
I mean,
actually,
I've asked
some
Dan
people
sexual
ask you
questions.
about. Yeah, that's it. They ask you sexual. What do I do when I'm having sex, or how to get intimate? And that's when I used to say, why did I introduce you to Dan? He's wearing one. Let's see what.
Dan was like more uncomfortable.
Dan was a lot of help. He just
Yeah,
said,
he was like, well,
if you don't know what to do, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, don't you have any books?
So I guess that would be probably.
Don't send them to Dan anymore.
Brian in Florida. I sleep with my liner on in case of a fire. I shower, and these showers usually get chair. Yeah, I use a shower chair. Yeah, but
Don't you want your skin
You
just
want
to
your skin to
relax?
breathe.
though?
yeah, man, I'd be too uncomfortable to.
You gotta let it get some air out.
Dan says, I heard that. He said. So wow, yeah, I would sleep with my liner on. I can't wait to take that damn
I
thing
never
off.
did once.
Especially this new one. I don't know what it's called, but it's so tight. This new one.
Yeah.
I mean, my stump is practically thanking me when I take that thing off. You know what I'm talking about?
He showed me the new liner, but yeah, I'm the same way. I can't wait to get it off.
Yeah.
But then when I put it back, it's funny. I'll be uncomfortable for a while, sweating, tired. Take it off, clean it, put it back on, and it's like putting it on for the first time that day.
Yes.
I feel great.
Yes.
And then 4 hours later, I'm like, oh, I gotta clean this thing. I gotta get it off. Put it right back on, brand new.
Yeah.
It's weird, but that's how it works.
And you actually come here. They sometimes tease me. They'll look, or they'll see something that I'm doing. They're like, "Oh, why didn't you come in and get this taken care of?" I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't know it could." Or they're always teasing me. But you don't seem to come here. Correct me if I'm wrong. You come here often. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. They'll say to me, "Why did you come in?"
Yeah, when he
and
told
I'm
me
like, "I didn't know I could do that."
I was
like,
surprised.
but what do you? So help me out here. What are you coming in for? You
Socket.
need a tune-up.
It's always a socket. It's my skin gets screwed up. It shrinks. you lose weight,
Yeah.
you swell up, you know. So I'm constantly like it seems like every year I get a new socket, right? Or about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I always need a new socket. Yeah.
All right, so I'm not doing so bad because the last socket I had before this was only, I think, actually less than a year.
Was it less?
Well,
Yeah.
liners too. I go through liners.
He goes through liners
Oh,
like
yeah.
crazy.
Oh, you got, so we can just come in and say this line is killing me. And
Liners,
give-
yeah,
See,
liners,
I
yeah.
didn't-
And you have to know that not other
Twice
places,
a year.
no other place does that,
Right.
ever. They will charge you $200 for a liner or, you know, all the time. Like, you're the only people I ever know
Well,
who
right,
do that.
We do a follow-up. If you
Right.
have anything's uncomfortable, you walk, you know, you don't want to walk through it. You just, you know.
I've never ever had an issue where I was turned away and said, no, I can't come in, can't see it. I'll call up and I'll say, hey, it's Mike Lizzi. Hey, Mike, what's up? Something's wrong. Before I even finish, they're like, all right, can you come in today?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah.
They're great.
Well, and like I said before, the guy I started off with, that's exactly why I left him, because he would get mad. If I was having an issue, he would actually and give me a hard time.
Really?
What the hell's this guy's problem? I'm not coming here because, I want to see his face. I'm having issues here.
So you guys can kind of walk through anything, right? You put the prosthesis on, you can ambulate on anything. You just
Yeah, pretty
take
much,
it
yeah.
installed. If I put a bucket on your leg with, a door hinge and wood, you'd be able to get out the door with it. So sometimes you walk on it and then it takes a couple of days for you to figure out, I want my knee turned, one way, I'm whipping one way, or it's a tad short or a little bit long, or digging me in the groin, or I sunk in there a little deeper,
Yeah.
you start walking under your socket, you get in there a little bit deeper, and you just need an edge rolled or cut away or some padding.
Yeah.
So, that's...
And that's the cool thing too. They always get inventive like that. Adding a little cushion somewhere, or just
He just did it for me 2 months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was getting a little beat up, and he said, let's try this, and it worked actually. So it's fine.
That's it.
That's great. All right, now Brian. All right, Brian's got a broken back and a fused neck. That's why he wears his liner at night. Wah, wah, wah. I'm kidding, Brian. I'm kidding. And $900 for a winter's gel liner.
I was saying $200 for a new liner,
oh,
and he
okay.
was saying try $900 for a winter's gel liner that he was charged from his guy.
Wow. Yeah, it's pricey. Yeah. Wow. All right. So, all right.
It's 10, just
Okay.
So
All right. So
wherever
it is
you
10.
wanna go.
All right. So, all right. So what we normally do on this show, I'm just looking at my notes real quick. Okay. What we do on this show every week, we go about an hour, so we're pretty much done. But we always end the show with random trivia questions. It has nothing to do with anything. We're just messing around, joking around, and we see how smart you guys are, and we let the viewers chime in with their answers as well. So I'm going to ask a bunch of trivia questions. I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong. I might. But then we'll go back from the beginning and give you all the answers. Some are random. Maybe I snuck in some stuff you guys might know about. And again, you guys can chime in as well. All right, so here we go. All right, and I'll just say again, it is Limb Loss Awareness Month. Call your legislators. Tell them that you want good regulation. You want insurance that covers. And there's always go to what is it? Amputee Coalition? Is that what they're called?
The ACA.
ACA. Okay. They have a whole breakdown for Limb Loss Awareness Month. There's days they want you to wear orange. They give you access to some support groups. It's some interesting stuff there, so check that out. All right, so here we go. Some random trivia. True or false? Before the team was named the Mets, one name that was considered was the Islanders.
False.
Okay,
False.
moving on.
Maybe not. I don't know.
True or false? Another true or false question. The United Nations is one of the buildings seen in the Mets logo.
True.
False.
Okay. Let's see.
Take the pants off.
Mike, every Saturday night he calls me, take your pants
And
off.
that's Anthony's trick. Your trick is the leg in the corner. This is the Mets trivia question.
That's right.
Gets you every time.
Talking baseball with the women, it works every time. That's right. The 3 most common ways to hold a prosthetic leg on the limb.
Wait, start again. Sorry, I
The
wasn't paying
3
attention.
most common ways to hold a prosthetic leg on the limb. What are they?
suction,
Right.
vacuum, pin suspension.
Very nice.
And a
Jesus,
test belt and a pinch.
Test belt and a
Oh my God. What was that?
A test belt and a pinch.
Sally's up on all this stuff.
Yeah.
She's got a fetish. You better be careful. Where was I? Let's see.
I don't.
Eddie Acaro. You know that name?
Mhm.
That's right. I knew you would.
Arcaro.
Arcaro? Okay, I knew that. Eddie Arcaro, one of the greatest jockeys in horse race history, rode how many losers before he won his first race?
0.
He won his first race?
Just guessing.
Oh, all right, all right.
Trick question?
No,
Oh, I don't know. That's a guess.
big horse racing guy over here. First horse to capture the Triple Crown.
Citation?
Wait, where's the movie about this?
No, Seabiscuit didn't win it.
Seabiscuit
Man of War
wasn't
didn't
it?
win it.
I'll tell you that, it was not Seabiscuit.
Not Seabiscuit. All right, that's all I got.
Oh, Brian?
War Admiral.
No. Brian put in the link to the Amputee Coalition. Thanks, Brian.
He also got the answer for the suction, pin, and
Yes,
vacuum.
yes, he did. In 1979, the Mets introduced another mascot, a mule. What was his name? I didn't know this one either.
No idea.
Yeah, I was shocked. I didn't know this one
I
at
don't know.
all. Okay. The lightest jockey on record weighed in at what? How many pounds?
45.
In what movie does Adam Sandler go back to school at the age of 27?
Billy
Billy
Madison.
Madison.
Billy Madison. The dodgeball scene, smacking the kids in the face. Love that. Who attempted to assassinate Ronald Reagan in 1981?
John, Jesus. They wrote the law after
Were you about to say John Wilkes
I
Booth?
don't know.
Wait a minute.
You said
He knows a
John,
lot about
I think
prosthetics.
I-
That's
The
it.
gun law's written after this
I
guy's name.
know. Are you thinking of Brady law?
Yeah.
No, not him. That was the senator. that
No,
got
I
shot.
think it is the Brady
Brady.
law.
He tried to kill. He shot Brady.
No.
Oh, Hinckley.
No, Brady got shot.
Hinckley. Brady got shot.
Hey, is it Seattle Slew?
No.
No,
Oh, sorry, Carol.
definitely not serious.
In what year
I
did
feel like there's like Jay Leno walking down the street asking what's the
People in the street,
national anthem.
Who fought in the Civil War?
Yeah.
Canada and
We are the United States of, I don't know.
what day is July 4th celebrated on? What year did Garth Brooks try to make the Mets? Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
I don't know.
2001.
Ooh, close. In 1986, some Mets players recorded a song. Do you know the name of the song?
Meet the Mets.
No.
Let's go Mets.
No, the actual players
We Are the World?
from the team. Actual players, we are the world.
Is it a remake?
No,
Was that Let's Go Mets Go?
no, they were in the video, but no, they didn't record the
teamwork
song.
that make the dream work? That one?
No, that I know.
All right,
No,
no.
Now
not
you're just
that one. I
making
love
stuff
that one.
up.
But, this was a song. It was a rap song. I'll tell you. Remember the Bears?
Oh,
Remember they did
yes,
a rap
it
song
was.
in the Mets?
Yeah.
The
Super
Mets,
Bowl Shuffle.
right? Something like that.
Mets
so
did
the
one?
Mets did one too. Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Let's see, where was I? Do I have any more? Nearly 75% of amputations are caused by. I actually have two. Give me one.
Cancer.
Vascular problems.
Vascular. Diabetes.
All right, you just named them
Circulation.
both. Okay. The most common type of amputation.
Below the knee.
Below the knee.
Transtibial, we call it in modern day. I'm old now. I'm sorry. I learned it as below the knee.
Get all scientific on this.
Yeah. Transtibial.
All right, I got two more. Which duo recorded the 1981 song "Endless Love"?
Oh.
Diana Ross.
Diana Ross and Lionel Richie.
Extra point if you guys sing it to each other right now.
Did you pick that question?
No, I just made that up
You
just now.
just pull that out?
What day of the week is Mardi Gras? What day of the week?
Tuesday.
There you go, Tuesday. Okay, all right. So there you go.
Tuesdays with Tony.
There you go. Nice. Why can't we win against the Yankees? That's a good question. All right. All right. So we'll go back and do the answers here. So the Mets. One name for the Mets considered for the Mets was the Islanders. That is true.
Wow.
It is true. The United Nations is one of the buildings you see on the Mets logo. The mule, another Mets mascot that they brought out in 1979. His name was Metal, M-E-T-T-L-E, Mets Metal.
Did he only last?
I don't even know how long he lasted. I don't even remember it.
No one went to the games back then.
True,
That's why you
that is
remember.
true. It was until, what, 83, 84 they started coming back. Garth Brooks tried to make the Mets in 2000. Yep, you were close. In 1986, some Mets players recorded a song called Get Metsmerized. It was a rap song. Strawberry Gooden, Howard Johnson, George Foster, Kevin Mitchell, Tim Tuffle, obviously.
George Foster wasn't even around for the...
Yeah, they released him. They booted him by the end of the year, yeah. Nearly 75% of amputations are caused by diabetes and cardiovascular complication. The most common type of amputation is below knee, like Brian Festa, who's watching. The three most common ways to hold the prosthetic leg on the limb: suction, locking, and elevated vacuum. Eddie Arcaro? Arcaro rode 250 losers before he won a race. 250, that's crazy, right? Yeah.
That's a lot of races.
The lightest jockey on record weighed in at 49 pounds. Very close. Close enough. I was impressed. The first horse to capture the Triple Crown, Sir Barton.
Oh, wow.
Do you
30s?
If you say so.
40s,
I don't know. Adam Sandler made Billy Madison. John Hinckley tried to kill Reagan. Yes, Brady was the one who got shot in the forehead. Diana Ross and Lionel Richie. And yes, Mardi Gras is Tuesdays. Limb Loss Awareness Month is April. Go check it out on Amputee Coalition and check it out and support the cause. Okay, I'm just reading some more answers. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, support the cause. Thank the people that you talk to, and thank these guys. These guys do a tremendous job. This is Mike. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
This is Sal. Thank you, buddy. We had a great time. Always love hanging with these guys. Next week, what's our show next week? Oh, next week we are talking to a writer. She's a writer, Sandra Castillo. She's from California. She writes for a few magazines. She'll be in New York, and we'll be sitting with her in New York City next week. So that'll be fun, interesting to hear some of her stories, some famous people she's dealt with.
Does she mostly write about music, or does she write about everything?
I believe she writes about everything. She does a lot of music articles.
Okay.
She wrote a great article on Knockem Day Comedy about a month ago, which was nice. Yeah, so we'll be talking to her. And don't forget to check out Progressive O&P's new website. Should be coming out any day. And check out the great blogs. And all right, thank you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday. See ya.